Madame la Présidente du Conseil, Monsieur le Directeur Général, Monsieur Moller, membres du Conseil de la Fondation, Mesdames, Messieurs, parents, élèves de la promotion 2021, c'est un plaisir et un grand honneur d'ouvrir cette cérémonie des promotions 2021. Seasons come and seasons go. The earth rejoices with the bounty of human activity, and we are struck down by hardship, reminding us of the frailty of existence and the vaingloriousness of our pursuits. But despite these vicissitudes, the graduation ceremony remains, anchored in time and space, like these stones upon which we sit, reminiscent of ancient Greece. For the importance of the graduation is more than symbolic. It is profoundly human. To graduate is to seek higher ground, to elevate oneself, to explore new horizons. As Ulysses tells his crew in Canto 26 of Dante's Inferno, we were not born to live like beasts, but to follow virtue and knowledge. Hence, this graduation marks your ascension to the next step, a fundamental step that opens up the future before you, like the unlocking of the vault of the endless blue sky. On that note, it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the podium Mrs. Rebecca Thomas, Chairperson of the Board of the International School of Geneva. Mrs. Thomas has a distinguished career in the World Health Organization. She's a lawyer and public health advocate, providing technical and practical leadership in translating human rights to health and using law, policy, and communications to challenge injustices against the most marginalized. Mrs. Thomas is Ecoland's 23rd chairperson of the governing board. Thank you for those stirring speeches. It's wonderful to hear people speaking live, in the flesh. Although it's a pity we can't see your bookshelves, or your kitchens, or your choice of artwork. I've heard that Mr. Muller is a art fundi, or the tail of your cat as it makes its way across the desk. No, we need to gather, to unite. Apparently, in EOS, Year 13's united in Ryan and Matteo's room. I'm sure COVID restrictions were respected rigorously. Now, everything was closed in EOS. So what exactly did the students do? I was told they would sit in philosophical pose in the shadows of the Cantina del Mar every morning, discussing the political implications of Constantin Cavafy's poetry, or the architectural details of Parmenian's temples in Alexandria. There's a soothing thought. LGB graduates contemplating history and art, facing Homer's wine dark sea. I'd like to congratulate our Year 13s for their choice of graduation trip to the Peloponnese. Yet again, they insist on this attention to culture after such a grueling diploma program. And this appetite for all things intellectual was made clear in our yearbook quotes, such as Alim Devesioglu's statement, "I should have taken A-levels." Or Chiara Valzoni, who said, "COVID lasted longer than me in the IB." Or Jacob Mansfield, who said, "You'd be surprised how likable some of these poor sods are." Speaking of culture, time for some music. A musical interlude by Qingyang, a Year 13 student who will interpret the Chinese folk song, Jasmine Flowers. C'est l'heure de la remise des diplômes de fin d'études secondaires. Les noms d'élèves vont être lus par Conan de Wild et Duff Gear.
Avec une année à l'école, with 1 year at Écolinte, Solal Cerdan. Alice Semino. Alice Semino. Avec 2 années à l'Écolinte, with 2 years at the International School of Geneva, Stein Claessens. Julienne Delisle-Pay, with merit. Nilsson Donkéry. Shoko Rafori. Oscar Hamilton. Quentin Istas. Hena Kwa with distinction. Flavien Lemaire. Hannah Luth. Farron Salvage. Emilio Soltero Sandoval with distinction. Pauline von Spee. Alexander Wooders. With 2.5 years in school, 2 années et demie à l'Écolinte, Joseph Juwon Park with merit and distinction. Avec 3 années à l'école, with 3 years in school, Caillou Chang with merit and distinction. Gujral Veer. Mathieu Lassouvre. Sophia Lipchitz. Elina Bentinmaki. Mario Pescio with merit. Virgile Raspaldo. Capucine Rémy. Julien Rel with merit. Clarisse Routsard with merit. Clara Sornet avec distinction et mérite. Vijay Srinivas. Irene Tombatsi. Richard Trask. George Toev. Natsuki Wada with distinction and merit. Claudia Zamar. Qingyang Chang with distinction and merit. With 3.5 years in school, 3 années et demie à l'Écolinte, Benedetta Martelli with distinction and merit. Anna Tian. Kevin Tian.
Et avec 4 années à l'école, Anna Adley. Talia Decline. Gaspard de Ferland. Clémence Eckert. Sacha Faisan avec mérite. Aliki Anna Florou avec distinction. Melissa Furer, Joseph Gaffé, Mathia Salim Kanan, Michael Levy, Estelle Mater, Carolina Nutz, Ethan Hayon, and if I understand properly, a birthday. Auguste Safar, Laura Stanovic, Eleanor Swalev, Buba Vukmanovic with merit. And Yufai Joao with merit. With 4.5 years in the school, 4 ans et demi, la Miss Aloisil. 5 years in the school, 5 années à l'école, Philippe Bauch. Maria Dolgic. Lane Faison with merit. Chiara Falzoni. Arwen Lebars with merit. Alicia Lodigiani. Hao Shi. Jun Sao with distinction and merit. Bubi Zhao with distinction and merit. 6 years in the school, 6 années à l'école, Philippe Barata Reis. Talina Chanderia with distinction and merit. Alejandro La Fuente Piedrafita. Heitor Mateo. Hector Mitterrand. Oscar Reis with merit. Albert Chang with distinction and merit. Rishi Sharma. Jacob Sostrand with merit. Gregorio Spinola. Luca Turrettini. And Adam Verbun.
It's now the presentation of special awards, and we'll ask students to descend to receive their prizes. CAS, Creativity Activity Service, is an integral part of the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program. And our awards this year go to Aliki Floru, Qingyang Zhang, Julia Delisapir, Arwen Lebas, and Elina Pentinmaki. The International Gold Award. This is the highest award under the International Award Scheme, requiring ambitious and demanding expedition, high levels of public service resilience, and teamwork. So just before we award the gold, I'd like to mention, and just ask the students to stand so we can see them, the IA Silvers for this year, Maria Dolkik and Qingyang. The gold award goes to Gregorio Spinola. Le prix des anciens, créé à l'occasion du 75e anniversaire de l'occasion des anciens de l'école Inde. Ce prix est décerné à un élève promu qui a manifesté une exceptionnelle volonté d'intégration, un remarquable esprit de solidarité et un sens aigu de l'esprit de camaraderie. Et pour ce prix, c'est Gregorio Spinola, de nouveau. Sportif. Honor roll. To be included in the honor roll, a student leaving must have at all times lived up to the ideals of the school and have made an outstanding contribution during at least a stay of 2 years. It's the school's top accolade awarded after consultation with all teaching staff. And in this group, we have 4 recipients. Talina Chanderia, Benedetta Martelli, Qingyang Zhang, and Junseo We will now hear from our student speakers, Stella Cunliffe and Matteo Zocco.
Parents, teachers, and the class of 2021. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times, were the lines read aloud by an enthusiastic English teacher as I sat at my desk at 62 Route de Chêne. I doubt very much that there is a better way to describe high school. Cliché, but true. Yet, for us, class of 2021, I do believe it was the worst of times that came first. Il est indéniable que le IB était terrible. Je veux dire vraiment horrible. Pour citer Stromae, quand tu crois enfin que tu t'en sors, quand il y a plus, eh ben il y en a encore. Ce qui résume la période à partir du mois d'octobre. But who knows how bad the IB really was, better than the ones that witnessed us go from their little angels, bringing their little rain boots to school with their little packed lunches to, in the words of my mother, oh my goodness, it's like she's been replaced by a sack of potatoes. And quite frankly, Mum, the IB made me feel like a sack of potatoes. The only thing, and really there is only one thing, that I shall miss about the IB is my washing up duties being revoked, as I must go to my room now and study very hard at this particular time. Thank you so much to our parents who put up with us. We couldn't have done it without you. Nous n'aurions pas pu le faire sans vous, donc merci. As I'm sure you are all aware, COVID made our high school experience unique, to say the least. Seeing our teachers' pets on screen, taking lessons in bed, and that infamous mute button are just a few of the odd things that came with online learning. Our ability to adapt shows the true extent of the École spirit. Yet, we cannot grace COVID times for demonstrating this. Even pre-COVID, we were united. Thus, as this speech concludes, so does our time at Écolante. So I reflect. The one thing we all shared is that we went to school together, every single day, for a year, or 2 years, or more than 5 years. We could bond over how we were drowning in work, attending yet another Google Meet, and how so-and-so got a hickey over the weekend. I, for one, can say confidently that I shall miss my time at LGB. And on a personal level, I look forward to watching you all go on to great things. Thank you very much for being the best year group. C'était vraiment la communauté de notre année et les fortes amitiés nouées tout au long de notre parcours qui nous ont permis de persévérer. So, we think we've had the best of times, but I'm sure there are even better times still to come. Thank you very much. Merci.
That's a lot of people. Dear parents, dear Écolante community, dear family and friends watching online, and most importantly, dear class of 2021. Congratulations to everyone for making it here. For the family members, it means we consider you to be the two most loved people in our lives. Or it means that you jumped over the fence while Vincent wasn't looking. One of the two. But he's not easy to get around. In my case, it was easy. My parents said if I didn't choose them, I'd be sleeping outside. My brothers said that if I chose them, they would sleep outside with me. Mais sérieusement, c'est un honneur et un plaisir d'être avec vous et de m'adresser à vous aujourd'hui. Je m'excuse en avance si j'ai plus de voix. Comme j'ai dit hier, on était en Grèce, in between the museums, all the cultural visits, people passing out on our hotel room floor. It was quite a time. It was quite a time. Mais aujourd'hui marque une date importante dans notre parcours de vie. Cela n'est pas seulement une remise de diplôme, mais une commémoration de l'esprit, du caractère et des succès, et il y en a beaucoup, de l'année 2021. It's hard to find the right words to describe the class of 2021. I tried yesterday and I'll try again today. I mean, naturally, as Écolante graduates, there are certain things that we share in common with the other years. Any of the alumni in the room today will know. I saw you earlier. But there are obviously some things that make us similar to the others, right? We still laugh about our made-up class reflections. We still fear Mr. Teddy's office. We still think Petit Parc is a clever hiding spot where you can go, and the teachers have no idea what you're doing. Pourtant, il y a la fumée. Bon. We still agree that Roadrunner is the best burger in Geneva, although the fries need a little salt. And most importantly, we all love talking about how much work we have and never actually doing it, but complaining instead. Traditional. But apart from the Écolante norms, we also have some traits which are unique to our class. This class is especially resilient. Amidst the crazy COVID times, with online learning, with the exams, with all the uncertainty, we still manage to work hard, to support each other, and we never give up on our goals. And that is a skill that'll shine, honestly, in our lives. This class cares for itself. I remember all throughout the IB, we were helping and teaching each other. When the math class was over, I remember everyone would just stand up, they'd come to my desk one by one, okay, it was Bruce's desk, I'm joking. Mais I still offered help and no one wanted it. Our class also has just the right amount of weirdness to totally understand each other. We make the weirdest of jokes, like just before the exams, everyone's stressing, we're talking, we're using the weird made-up language I was talking about yesterday, like trofa and rokus and all the rest of them, this wacky eccentricism that we all partake in. And it really builds on the energy of the year group, and it makes it that we're that much closer. En résumé, je décrirai la classe de 2021 comme une famille. Une très très grande famille. Certes avec ses différences, mais au bout du compte, we have a connection to our school and to ourselves which is bigger than the individual. And that I think later in life will end up helping us a lot as we come back, because we're destined to meet each other eventually. As I look back at this 15-year journey, all I think of are the warm, treasured memories. I don't think of all the horrible, assignments and IA and E and all this stuff. All I think about was like arriving at 8:15 on a rainy morning. You're having like a bad day, and then you come in and someone makes a joke, and all of a sudden you're smiling and you're laughing, and it's the best time. And that's kind of the essence of Écolante, right? This ability to just feel completely at home while learning in this amazing environment with so much cultural richness. We went quite literally from Grand Villa to Greek theater. And for all of this, we kind of have to say thank you. Well, not kind of, we definitely have to say thank you. Firstly, I would like to thank the parents, you, for your unwavering support towards your children, for the unconditional love that you bless us with, and for putting up with our IB mood swings. Also, you couldn't care less about IAs or TOKs, but you still listen to us as we rant, and you make us feel like we know what we're talking about and that we're right. And that's really nice. Thank you to the grad committee, who worked tirelessly to ensure that we could all be here today in this beautiful Greek theater. I think that deserves a round of applause. Également, on doit dire merci à la sécurité et aux services techniques, grâce à qui ce campus est propre et sûr, and thanks to whom we come here every day feeling like we are at home. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Hughes, Mr. DeWild, Ms. Shibaru, the heads of years, Mr. Capi, Carole. Your dedication to our education will forever be appreciated. Thank you very much. Finally, I would like to thank the class of 2021. Everyone has a unique experience at Écolante. Every year is a different one. But I say it honestly, I would not have changed mine for anything. I would not have changed mine for the world. We have an exceptional year group. Everyone's always telling us we're so close. You could see even EOS. The bars were closed, the discos were closed, yet 112 people all together, just living, laughing, enjoying, all in this connection that we share. So I wanted to thank you. I owe all my gratitude and affection to you for making my Écolante experience so memorable. Thank you again, and I love you.
We'd like to thank our keynote speaker, Mr. Moller, for his magnificent address. Thank you to our speakers, Mrs. Thomas, Dr. Hawley, Stella, and Matteo. Je voudrais également remercier le PTA, les parents d'être là avec nous et de cheminer ensemble pour ce bien collectif qu'est l'éducation. Service technique, David Gaimard, Jean-Charles Blanc, Denis Capolino, toute l'équipe, la sécurité, tout ce qui est technique, la musique, le visuel, merci beaucoup pour vos efforts. This has been a long journey, but there's been some incredible work in those last 2 years from our guidance counselors, Marsha Oshima, Sally Walker, Luke Hamzawi. Mira Shibaru, our assistant principal, student life 12 and 13, and of course the IB diploma team, led by our diploma coordinator and assistant principal, Conan DeWild. Thank you. Pour l'organisation de cette cérémonie, je voudrais remercier Sophie Conversé et Carole Giboz, sans qui rien n'est possible à la Gomboissière, vous le savez tous. Merci Carole. Students, you are now no longer graduands, you are graduates. You've walked through a threshold to the other side. And now you will leave the Greek theatre for the last time as students, but for the first time as alumni. What will you take with you from this school to the other side? That's for you to decide. Change is the only constant, and as your lives change, for they will, may you look back at this ceremony as a small piece of the unchangeable, the eternal, forever locked in your hearts, something to cherish. Be strong, be brave, be good.
Put your loving hand out, baby, 'cause I'm begging. I'm begging you. Put your loving hand out, baby. I'm begging you. Put your loving hand out, darling.
Riding high when I was king, played it hard and fast, flying every day. I walked away, you won me then. Easy come and easy go, and it will end.
Anytime I will, you let me go, yeah. Anytime I feel, you let me know. Anytime I see, you get me know. But I plant this seed, just let me grow. I'm on my knees when I'm begging, 'cause I don't wanna lose you.
Yeah, yeah, ra-ta-ta-ta. And I'm begging you. Put your loving hand out, baby. I'm begging you. Put your loving hand out, darling.
I need you to understand. Try so hard to be a man, the kind of man you want in the end. Only then can I live again. An empty shell I used to be, shadow of my life is in me. A broken man, and I don't know. Even stand there for dancing with my soul.
What we're doing, what we're chasing, why the bottom, why the basement? What we gotta do, she don't embrace it. What they feel for the need to replace me. You're a runaway track from a good. I wanna print the pictures anywhere, but you react like the heart of the child when you should. Don't give it away, yeah, they took it back, but I keep walking on, keep open door, keep walking forward. Now the code is just keep crossing those. Cause I don't wanna live in a broken heart.
I'm begging you. Put your loving hand out, baby. I'm begging you. Put your loving hand out, baby.
I'm just a call, not to fade and
I'm begging
Thank you very much.